you got to learn how to sharpen a knife on a bench. This is a DMT stone. It's got fine, coarse on one side. I usually spray it with Windex, or I'll use water to help lift the particles off there when you're cutting. All you need to get a knife sharp, this, and I use a steel to straighten the edge. No matter what, when you're running on a stone, if you were to look at a magnified view of the edge on that knife, it's always going to have a slight curl in it to whatever side you did last. You just straighten the steel with a steel. On that same subject, I also invest pretty heavily in my cutlery. It's just something I realized, like, good stuff is good. For at home, I prefer, like, for a chef's knife, this is a knife made by a guy in North Carolina, Brian Good. It's a custom chef's knife, high carbon steel. It's a pretty soft steel, but I can sharpen it so fast, and I'm at home anyways, and I got my stone here, I got my steel here. I don't care if this thing gets dull often. I keep a razor edge on it. I got a drawer, I just pull that thing out, sharpen it, and I like it that it takes an edge very easily rather than it's supposed to hold the edge forever, because I can reshape it whenever I want. I use one of those a lot. I also like to use a fillet knife a lot on, fish. So just a big, long bladed fillet knife. I don't need to have a ton of different fillet knives around. I can do a lot of fish with this thing. It's a flexi blade. On a lot of those bigger saltwater fish, like big rockfish, where you have heavy bones, this knife's a little bit undergunned. I'll actually wind up filleting a lot of fish with not fillet knives, but I might even fillet like a big rockfish with something like this if I got to get through a lot of bone. And don't worry about, spending a lot of money on knives. I don't think it's a throwaway. You don't need to get ridiculous. I don't have knives that cost several $100s, but I got a lot of knives that cost upwards of $100 that I like a lot.